Hello, YouTube. We are back for another action-packed, exciting upload in relation to Jeremy's Detective Comics number 33. Before we begin, I want to thank everyone who has voted for Jerry the Jitterbug Comic Collector in the 2024 Comic Book Community Awards. If you didn't vote for my channel, I ask that you go on by and give a vote for us. Let's take home the prize for the third year in a row. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Enough of that, Jerry. Let's get rolling. Okay, so what do we have here? Are we cooking? Is this a Food Network channel? No, it's not. It is a comic book conservation channel. And last upload, what we did is we started to mix Pulp, and we used Bleach right here for the newsprint that I use. And this is the newsprint right here. And the reason why I used the bleach is because I wanted to get the newsprint color from gray to tan. And right here is a classic example why I do this. As you can see, the gray color of the newsprint now is tan, and that is as a result of the bleaching. So I am happy with the tan color, turning it more closer to the newsprint of the interior of the Detective Comics number 33. However, we are not close enough. And let me show you why we are not close enough. So what I want to do is let's move these away so we don't get any water on the wrap itself. And we'll put it right back so we can get rolling and continue working on it. So this is the interior, or the centerfold, I keep on saying interior, of the Detective Comics number 33. This is the bleached out paper pulp. As you can see, it's similar, but it's not close enough. And we want to be close as possible in relation to the interior of this book, because we're doing the best job as we can. But everyone knows watching my channel, I try to do my best job on every book. But it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of manipulating colors. It's not an easy process. It's a slow process to do it right. So what do we have here? We have two soaking vessels with pulp. The first one is the newsprint. That was bleached, and here is, as I just shown, the result of that. And it's good to dry out a large piece of the paper that you're soaking to make the pulp. And this just shows that you can manipulate the colors before you blend, okay? And that's what I am showing you now that you can do. And I haven't shown this step before in the past, so this is a new bit of information, okay? So this is something that I like to do now so I can see how close we have to adjust the base color of newsprint to match the interior pages of the book that we are working on. So we don't need this anymore. Let's put it in. Boop. Now it's going in for a bath. Now this pulp has been soaking, take that back, not pulp, Jerry, paper. Newsprint paper has been soaking for a good few days, soaking in water. And for any of you who are watching the channel and may be fearful that, what the heck, Jerry the Jitterbug, you're putting bleach in a book that's going to be conserved. I rinse this out probably about 3-4 times, maybe more. I don't count, but I flush out the paper. I add new water into it to rinse out the bleach, and I think I did a pretty good job with it, and it's some good pulp, and it's going to work out very well. So what do we have here on this one? We have a darker paper, okay? And this has been soaking again for a few days. This right here is more of a cardstock paper. And I use this quite often to try to make the base of the newsprint closer to the interior of pages. Now, this is the cardstock right here, and this is what I use. It's a little thick. The paper is a thick cardstock, but it's a neat color because when mixed with the newsprint that is bleached, these two gel together beautifully. They really blend nice with the colors, making it where it is closer to aged golden age interior newsprint, and hopefully I have the mix ratios correct. So we have 3 pieces of the newsprint, 1 cardstock. Now, the next step that we want to do is that I want to join these two. I want to join them because I think I have the ratio correct. So what we'll do is we'll take the soaking cardstock that I am using, and we're going to blend both of them together right now to make a pulp that hopefully will match the interior of Jeremy's Detective Comics number 33. So let me grab the blender and let me grab what we need, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we are back. I have my blender right here. I had to go up and clean the blender because it did have some pulp in it. So let's get this high-tech piece of equipment ready to mix some pulp for your viewing pleasure. So how are we going to do this? And everyone knows that when I make pulp for leaf casting, I like to mix everything together for a few times. And what does that mean for a few times? Well, I'll put the paper in, and then when I put the paper in, we will essentially blend, and then we'll let it sit, and then we'll blend some more, and we want to make it really blended and gel together like mixing paints. And let's add a little bit more water, because the more water sometimes is better. And also, if you need more pulp, all you have to do is mix water, because the water will create more pulp. So we have everything in the blender. Hold your ears, everyone, because I'm going to get going and we're going to do a little blending now. I like to start with stir, and then I go to shake, and I go to the higher settings of the blender so we can make the pulp nice and smooth. So here we go. Okay, guys. Number one, I don't like doing it on the shelving unit because my homemade workbench that I made is not perfectly smooth. So we're going to adjust that with the second mixing. So right there, if the camera hopefully is picking it up, that has the consistency of, I would say, oatmeal. I've used that term in the past. Now, we have to do better than that. So what I'll do is I'll let this sit right now for a good few hours because I'm not in a rush to start testing this. So a few hours, we'll let that sit there. And then also what I like to do is I like to take the pulp that's on the walls and I like to push it down into the water so it doesn't dry up in the blender, okay? So first, what I do when I let it sit is I take it out and I put the top of the blender into my glass vessel because I see for some reason the blender is leaking, and these blenders, the way I'm using them for the leaf casting, they don't last that long, so I wind up getting new ones every year or so because for some reason they break down. Things are not made the way they were made in the past, I feel, meaning quality-wise. We have a disposable products or disposable life in this country, where I feel that a lot of things are made with a very short shelf life. So what we'll do now is let me give it another mixing and then we'll talk a little bit more. Okay, let's take a look. Look at those suds. Okay, so this may be enough for me to test it, okay? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a break and I'll be right back. Probably I have to do a few things around the house. I'm painting my foyer. I have a little work things to do. This is Saturday when I am filming this. I do work on Saturday for my real job for a few hours just to catch up. And like I said, I'm painting my whole foyer in the house. So I have a lot of projects that I'm doing at once. So let's let this soak for maybe a few hours, maybe more, I don't know. And then when I come back, we'll blend it. And then after blending it, we will make a section of leaf casted pulp so we can test the color and see if my two paper stocks that I used, one being bleached newsprint, the other being cardstock, I was right with the color mixture, and then we'll see. So stay tuned. Okay guys, we're back in the studio. And I have a really good feeling about this paper pulp. Okay, so that's the color wet. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. I just stirred it up for about a minute. Let's hit it again. Okay, I think that's good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this to the back right here. And I still have my tub here with the calcium carbonate. It's still sitting here with some pieces of pulp in it. Let's center it so we can work like professionals so we can see what we're doing on the camera. And then I have here one of my grates that I use for the leaf casting. Then what we have here is a scrap piece of Rame. So let's fill up my salad dressing tub or squeeze bottle. And I have a little white on me. As you can see, I'm painting. Oh, that's a little chunky. So that's not good. So that would have to be blended more for the final use if the color is good, just to let everyone know. Take that off. And then right here, you see that stuff that fell? If the camera's picking it up, that's a little oil from the blender. So let's get rid of that with a little water. We don't want that on there, right? Even though this is just a test disc of the color, we don't want that. So what I'll do is let's shake it up in the squeeze bottle and let's make a nice big test disc. And you see how the water just falls through the grate, falls through the piece of Rame. And this is how you can leaf cast if you really wanted to without a suction table. Now, I know there was some questions on the comic book conservation community fellowship of conservators extraordinaire on Facebook, and they were asking questions about how to basically put two pieces of a cover together, or a cover that is split, and if you can do it without all the equipment. And I actually commented, I said, sure you can. I have a bunch of uploads how to do it without using a suction table. You just do it like this. I know my good friend Peter Alici,
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Special announcement. Peter Alici has a YouTube channel. Go check it out and please subscribe. Tell him that Jerry the Jitterbug sent you. You does it this way as well. You don't need all of the apparatuses that I use, like the suction table and whatnot. All you need is a little pulp. You need maybe the grates that I'm using now. That would be smart to have the grates. And you make better pulp than this, what I just made. This needs to really be blended and soak a lot more because this has to be a little bit finer. Okay, that's enough. Let's get rid of this. Put it in there. So now what I want to do is I want to find another piece of scrap Hollytex or whatever I have. Here's a piece that I just found. This is Hollytex, so this is finer. We're doing it now more sophisticated because we're using a piece of Hollytex instead of using, not Hollytex. We're using, yes, Hollytex instead of Rame. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about something when I'm talking and I'm getting a little distracted. So now what you want to do is we want to put some paper towels. And these are the paper towels that I use that are recycled. I like to try to use the paper towels once or twice. I'm resourceful. I don't like to be wasteful. And there's no reason to be wasteful. If you can use something twice, why not? And you see what I'm doing now? This is what you would do if you were leaf casting without a suction table. You can just do it this way. It's not science, in my opinion. And I know I say this is leaf casting science, and I got some great commentary when I said that a few uploads ago, because in my opinion, I think it's more art than science. And Collecting Chaos, nice guy, he left a long commentary on my upload that I said, is it art or science? And he had made very good points, saying that once you master the science, then the art comes in. So shout out to Collecting Chaos. I haven't seen him in a while on the channel. I know he had a small flood in his house that he was working on, so that probably is keeping him back from doing things. Okay, so right there, I'm gonna get my mat out, and we're gonna try to make this process a little bit faster, where we can see the dried results, because I want to move and shake. I want to move and shake with this project. I want to do it as quick as possible so I can get it done, but I don't want to do it where we are sacrificing quality. That is a big no-no. And I can say that again, big no-no. So what are you doing, Jerry? Like, you're laying some paper pulp down on your mat here? Why are you doing that for? Well, I'll show you why. This is, again, a piece of recycled paper towel. And I'm going to get the good old rolling pin. Like I'm making a pizza pie. You don't use a rolling pin for pizza pie. I'm making an apple pie, just like this. And really what I'm doing is I'm trying to draw out as much moisture as I can from the sample disc, because I want to also smooth it out as well, because I want to test to see how my newsprint and cardstock mixture works when it's dried. I may even take this and put this in Big Bertha and compress it just to dry it quicker, because once you wrench down on Big Bertha with some paper towels, it dries very fast, and I get a true sense of the color that it's going to be in relation to the comic. So we're going to close this upload right now. I'm sure I'm close to 20 minutes, and someone did come home, so I want to go and greet them. And I'll see you next upload, and thank you for stopping by, and stay tuned.